Hello students, welcome to BookmarksEducare. So today we are going to talk about endocrine system. So what is endocrine system? Endocrine system entails the hormones that are produced by our body, hormones that are produced by our bodies, which we call chemical messengers, as in the messenger in various chemical forms that helps connect various aspects of your body. So let's see, what is endocrine system? It is a system of glands that controls and coordinates your bodily function. So what is gland? Glands are various structures or various lump of cells or various tissues that produces some kind of secretion. As in, if it have to be a gland, whether it is exocrine gland or endocrine gland, the primary perspective of them is to secrete some kind of chemicals. Okay. So these glands are ductless. So what is ductless glands and ductal glands means? So when we talk about ductless glands, it means they release chemicals directly into blood. Okay, so this is the purpose of ductless glands, or we can call them endocrines. Okay, endocrine glands. Here, see. So why this is ductless or endocrine? It is because they releases their chemical or whatever produced by them directly into the bloodstream. So there is another difference of it, that is called exocrine. Okay. Exocrine means they have some kind of duct that they secrete whatever chemical they secrete, it passes through this duct and goes to the targeted organ. Okay, so these are ductless glands, they control and coordinate your bodily function. They secrete chemical messengers called as hormone. As I said, why chemical messengers? Because hormones are chemicals. Okay, so that's why this is very straightforward. Because hormones are some kind of biochemicals, we call them as chemical messengers. They directly into bloodstream. Key functions. Key functions or the primary functions of hormones are they regulate your growth, they regulate metabolism, development and reproduction. Mainly, we can write it like this: all bodily functions. Okay, every bodily functions that are performed by your body itself is controlled, signaled, or even start or ending is done by some kind of hormonal signaling. There is another important thing, that is they slower action than nervous system but longer lasting effect. What it means is, as we know, our nervous system mainly works through electrical impulse. So these electrical impulses are faster acting and they act much more in a shorter lifespan, as in the action happens and then the signal dies. But for hormones, the effects are long lasting and it stays through your body. Here I have made a chart of nervous and endocrine system ka differences. These are fast, as in they act in milliseconds. These are slow, as I said before. Here we can see electrical impulses, we can see chemical impulses. Then, this is short-lived, meaning nerve signal happens, nerve signal happens, then action occurs. Okay, we call it action potential. What is action potential or what is nerve is doing is, by giving you some kind of by giving you some kind of electrical signals, you are performing, or the nerve is helping you perform some specific actions. Okay, then as the nerve signal occurs and the action happens, instantly this signal dies or it stops existing. Then what is happening? You are getting something like this, a peak, and then it dies. Okay, this is actually what happens. You will study in further higher classes. So nerve signal happens and then it dies, but chemical signal is more like this. They stays throughout your body, they stays as you grow, and the effect of any hormone, as they act on their targeted region, their targeted region performs some kind of changes due to that hormone, so this effect stays. Okay, this is localized, as in your reflex action, maybe your reflexes, or even your various signaling. The key work is, what is happening is, by having both localized short-term signals and widespread long-term signals, your body is working in a perfect coordination. So let's see some important or major glands in our body that produces hormone. The main gland that we all know is pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is called as master gland because through pituitary there are many signalings that are happening. It goes to thyroid, it goes to adrenal, it comes to pancreas, it even comes to your gonads. So what pituitary is doing is, it is a gland that produces hormone that affects the whole aspect of your body, and every other glands that are present in your body is affected by some kind of pituitary hormone. Then it is located in the base of the brain. Here you can see, or maybe not, but this is the region where pituitary gland is located. Then thyroid, it is located in the neck. You can see this is thyroid. Okay, then you can see adrenal glands. They are located in the top of your kidney. किडनी है ऐसे, उसका जो कॉर्टेक्स है उसके ऊपर ऐसे लगा हुआ है. ओके, sorry. Then there is pancreas. There is some fun thing about pancreas that we will learn, but it is also located in the middle portion of your body, under near the stomach, and you can say also behind the intestine. Then there is ovary and testes. Okay, ovary is for females and testes is for males. They together is called as gonads. Okay, except that there are some other glands, hypothalamus, pineal, thymus. For example, right now you don't need to know much about pineal gland or thymus, as their purposes you will learn later, but hypothalamus. There is a fun thing about hypothalamus is, we talked about pituitary controlling the whole body, but hypothalamus is a gland or a part of brain actually which controls the whole effect of pituitary. So hypothalamus is called master of master gland. Okay, this is a very fun thing. Pituitary is called master gland because it controls the every other glands in your body, and hypothalamus itself controls pituitary, so it is called as master of the master gland. So let's see some hormones and their origin and their purposes. I have some questions. Sir, please wait. Sir, how does pineal gland Okay, pineal gland ka effect and everything I will come. Okay, just first let's see these things and eventually I will, you just leave the comments, I will see the comments and I will tell it. Okay. So let's see the glands first. The glands I am talking about, because these are the ones that you will see in the exam itself. Okay. Hypothalamus, they releases TRH, or it's called as thyrostatin releasing hormone. CRH, corticotropin releasing hormone, and then GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. As you can see, all of them are some kind of RH or releasing hormone, meaning they all help pituitary to release the subsequent hormone based on your body signaling. Okay, there are various different types of, what should I say, there are various different types of specific conditions. Okay, in those specific conditions some different signaling occurs, and as the signaling occurs, or if I say it easily, suppose your body need thyroid, though there is a lack of thyroid, so what will happen is pituitary gonna get signal from hypothalamus, which gets the signal from thyroid gland itself. So what will happen, hypothalamus will release TRH that will excite or increase the secretion of thyroid releasing hormone from the pituitary itself. So this is a very fun thing. It stimulates pituitary secretion. Okay. Then there comes pituitary. It releases growth hormone, TSH, ACTH, FSH, LH. Full from growth hormone is GH. TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone, as in the hormone that helps stimulate the thyroid gland. ACTH is adrenocorticotropic hormone, as in it signals or it excites the corticotropin part of adrenal gland. Okay. Then there is FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. This acts in the gonads. Then LH is also acts in gonad. So what I have written in the function, main function is body growth, bone muscle development. All of this is done by GH. Then it stimulates thyroid, TSH, adrenal, ACTH, gonads, FSH and LH. Okay, LH is called as luteinizing hormone. Then there is thyroid gland, which releases thyroxine that regulates our metabolism, and sometimes it also regulates our growth, as in not directly like GH, but more like as your body grows, it needs nutrients to process, it needs various stimulation that will help the GH actually work on the cells. Thyroid provides you that stimulation, that environment in which a cell can properly grow under GH effect. Adrenal is the gland name, adrenaline is the hormone name. Okay, you have to remember that thing very nicely. Gland name, hormone name, sometimes it can vary. Like for pituitary, the hormone is not called like pituitary or pituitary toxin. It is called GH, SH, FSH, LH, like that. At the same time, thyroid hormone is called thyroxine, adrenal hormone secreted is called adrenaline. So remember the names properly. What adrenaline does is it triggers your flight and flight response. What happens is, in any kind of emergency, your body goes into flight and fight response. There is some parasympathetic nervous system that signaling works and resulting in increase your heart rate, increasing energy metabolism, resulting in a sudden amount of burst in energy for emergency purposes. Then there is parathyroid. Parathyroid releases parathormone, which helps balance calcium balance in blood, bones, in other organs. Okay, this is needed, calcium balance is needed for muscle movement. Okay, then pancreas, it releases insulin and glucagon. That is a very interesting thing, because insulin and glucagon, they are agonist of one another, as in the work of insulin and work of glucagon, they work in the same component but with direct opposite effect, and together they regulate blood glucose level. How? Let me just explain a little bit so that you can understand. What happens is, insulin effects on Bg, blood glucose, is it decreases blood glucose. Same time, Bg is increased by glucagon. So what happens? If your blood glucose is low, glucagon will be secreted. Glucagon secretion will increase. That in turn will increase the blood glucose level. It is getting high now. Okay. And this high blood glucose level in turn increase insulin production. Okay. So this is called as feedback loop, what we will learn in later slides. So what happens in feedback loop is, some kind of hormone acts in your body. For example, here your blood glucose level is low, so glucagon is acting and it is increasing the blood glucose level in your body by producing glucose from other organ, glycogen mainly. Then as the blood glucose level increases up to a certain threshold, insulin release increases, because whenever blood glucose level is high in your body, it will signal increased secretion of insulin, because what will happen, insulin will act on the glucose and form glycogen. So this is like a cyclic, or this is a cyclic function. Then there is gonads. There are two gonads, testis and ovary. Testis produces testosterone, whereas ovary produces estrogen and progesterone. Okay. Testosterone helps in sperm production, male secondary traits. Male secondary trait means puberty. There are both male and female secondary traits or male and female secondary sexual characteristics, which grows into the animal or the human being throughout puberty. Okay. So testosterone is sperm production, it takes care of the sperm also. Then estrogen, I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick. Estrogen is, form of it is egg production. Okay. The primary characteristics or primary function of estrogen is to produce egg and maintain estrous cycle. Okay. On the other hand, progesterone, it mainly characterizes female sexual dimorphism, and along with that it supports pregnancy. How? We will learn in later classes in 12 mainly. So let's move on. Now we will talk about feedback mechanism that I was talking. Self-regulation of action of hormone, meaning it will regulate itself. Okay. By some kind of signaling, it will regulate itself by negative feedback loop. Why negative? Because secretion of one hormone is suppressing the effect of another one. Okay. So high blood sugar, it is more insulin, sugar lower हो जाता है because of insulin, and then less insulin is produced. जहां पे हमारा ब्लड ग्लूकोज हाई हो गया, इंसुलिन का सिक्रीशन बढ़ गया, एंड ऐसे ही जैसे इंसुलिन का सिक्रीशन बढ़ा, शुगर लेवल हमारा कम हो गया. ऑब्वियसली इट विल हेल्प इन ग्लाइकोजेनेसिस एंड glycogenesis, and it will just down the cell glycolysis. And then due to glycolysis, जैसे शुगर लेवल कम हो गया, इंसुलिन का प्रोडक्शन भी कम हो जाएगा. सेम वे पे पिट्यूटरी एंड थायराइड लूप, you have pituitary, it will release TSH to act on thyroid, right? Then thyroid will release thyroid will release thyroxine, and means thyroxine will, high level of thyroxine will act on pituitary to stop production of TSH. So what happens is, now as the TSH increases, it gets positive feedback. As positive feedback increases, thyroxine releases thyroid releases thyroxine. इसका लेवल ऊपर आ जाता है. जैसे ये यहाँ पे हमको नेगेटिव फीडबैक मिला, एंड जैसे ही नेगेटिव फीडबैक मिला, टीएसएच का जो प्रोडक्शन है वो लो हो गया. So this is what is called as feedback loop or feedback mechanism, where one specific hormone, it can be many, there are multiple example of this feedback loop. Most of the hormones in your body act in some kind of feedback loop. Okay, it is either this or that. So what happens, as the feedback increases, or as the amount of hormone that is released by a specific gland increases, it acts on the associated glands. All other associated glands either get stimulated or inhibited. मतलब उनका काम का जो एबिलिटी है वो आइदर इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज होता है. ओके, स्टिमुलेट मतलब इंक्रीज करने का एक्टिविटी, इनहिबिट करना मतलब डिक्रीज करने का एक्टिविटी. ओके, सो ये आइदर स्टिमुलेट और डिस्टिमुलेट और होता है. तो डिक्रीज होने के साथ साथ वो दूसरे ऑर्गन को या फिर अपने ओरिजिन ऑर्गन को सिग्नल देता है. ओके, इवन sometime this also happens. For example, thyroid is releasing thyroxine, right? This thyroxine itself will give negative feedback to thyroid gland itself. Okay, for example, insulin gives negative feedback to pancreas itself. So these things are very interesting, and these are also very primitive things. Okay, you have to understand them. Let's see some common disorders that happens due to hormones. Okay, common disorders due to hormone imbalance. So डिसऑर्डर का नाम है ड्वार्फिज्म या फिर जाइगेंटिज्म. ओके, यहाँ पे थोड़ा वो नहीं आया, नाउ दिख रहा है आपको शायद. तो ड्वार्फिज्म और जाइगेंटिज्म. ड्वार्फ मीन्स स्मॉल ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. जायंट मीन्स, व्हाट शुड आई से, ह्यूज, लार्ज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स. So due to low GH dwarfism and high GH gigantism होता है. But what we have to remember is this happens in infancy. Okay, अगर पिट्यूटरी का कुछ मेलफंक्शन हुआ एंड GH हार्मोन का सिक्रीशन इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज हो गया, तो हमको ड्वार्फिज्म या जाइगेंटिज्म हो सकता है, प्रोवाइडेड इट हैपेंड इन इन्फेंसी और चाइल्डहुड. Short stature or excessive height. Okay, then goiter is a disease in which thyroid जो gland है वो gland फूल जाता है. Okay, and जैसे वो gland फूल जाता है, your neck also swells like this, huge बन जाता है. क्यों? Due to iodine deficiency, थायराइड जो थायरॉक्सिन हार्मोन है, थायरॉक्सिन हार्मोन का सिक्रीशन बहुत कम हो जाता है. ओके, सो योर बॉडी नीड थायराइड टू मेंटेन मेटाबॉलिज्म. सो बॉडी का डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म क्या होगा? थायराइड हार्मोन, थायरॉक्सिन हार्मोन कम हो जाने से योर बॉडी कैन नॉट परफॉर्म प्रॉपर्ली. सो उसका डिफेंस मैकेनिज्म होता है कि let's just increase the size of thyroid gland. Okay, this is a very fun thing. मतलब अगर आपका प्रोडक्शन कम हो रहा है किसी चीज का, तो आप क्या कर रहे हो? आपके पास प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाने का कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है. योर बॉडी कैन नॉट रेक्टिफाई द प्रॉब्लम इटसेल्फ. आपका बॉडी वो थायरॉक्सिन प्रोडक्शन को इटसेल्फ बढ़ा नहीं सकता, तो उसने क्या किया, उसने जो मशीन था, जो इंजन था, जो फैक्ट्री था जिसमें थायरॉक्सिन प्रोड्यूस हो रहा था, उसको बढ़ा दिया. नाउ एज यू हैव अ लार्जर ऑफिस और लार्जर फैक्ट्री, द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द hormone itself increases. So this is a very fun thing. No, not other hormones are there जिसका secretion बढ़ाने के लिए उसका gland बड़ा हो जाता है, but for thyroid this happens. Goiter disease का नाम है swelling of thyroid gland, metabolism issue, because thyroxine is a very core hormone that regulates your metabolism in various aspects. सो जैसे ही थायराइड का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, थायरॉक्सिन का सिक्रीशन का प्रॉब्लम हुआ, द मेटाबॉलिज्म इशू विल ऑकर डेफिनेटली. यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप इट, नोबडी कैन. Then there is diabetes. There are two type of diabetes. Okay, you have to remember it for exam because there will be some kind of question, preferably MCQ or short question, which will ask what is diabetes mellitus, what is insipidus. Mellitus. Mellitus is the deficiency of insulin hormone. इंसुलिन लैक हो जाता है तो ब्लड ग्लूकोज लेवल बढ़ जाता है. ओके. इंसिपिडस एडीएच हार्मोन का लैक होता है. एडीएच का फुल नाम है एंटी यूरेटिक हार्मोन. एंटी डायूरेटिक हार्मोन क्या करता है? इट कंट्रोल्स योर यूरिनेशन, द अमाउंट ऑफ यूरिन यू आर प्रोड्यूसिंग, द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर दैट इज प्रेजेंट इन योर यूरिन. वो हम लोगों ने एक्सप्रेशन में पढ़ा था, राइट, कि बॉडी में आपका जो यूरिन का अमाउंट होता है वो डिफर करता है डिपेंडिंग ऑन द अमाउंट ऑफ लिक्विड, अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर इन यूरिन. एडीएच उसको कंट्रोल करता है. तो जैसे ही एडीएच का लैक हो गया, आपका यूरिनेशन बढ़ जाएगा, यूरिन डायल्यूटेड हो जाएगा. ओके. द डायल्यूटेड यूरिन, जैसे यूरिन ज्यादा डायल्यूट हो गया मतलब उसमें ज्यादा H2O आ गया, तो अमाउंट ऑफ यूरिन विल इंक्रीज. और इंसुलिन कम हो गया तो हाई ब्लड ग्लूकोज हो सकता है. तो क्वेश्चन ऐसे आएगा, द हार्मोन दैट causes diabetes mellitus, you cannot write anything except insulin, right? तो क्या होता है, स्टूडेंट्स कंफ्यूज हो जाता है डायबिटीज मिलिटस एंड इंसिपिडस के बीच में, एंड देन दे राइट आइदर इंसुलिन और एडीएच, तुक्के में से. बट हमें ऐसे याद रखना है, इंसिपिडस इंसुलिन से नहीं होता है. ओके. इंसिपिडस इंसुलिन से नहीं होता है, ऑल्दो दे बोथ हैव आई इन देयर नेम, दे आर नॉट रिलेटेड. तो उल्टा ऑप्शन सही होगा. अभी आपको याद ऐसे रहेगा कि नहीं, आई डोंट नो, दिस इज द ट्रिक आई यूज, कि इंसिपिडस इंसुलिन से नहीं होता है. लेट्स मूव ऑन. अदर कॉमन डिसऑर्डर्स, एक्रोमेगाली. इसीलिए मैं बोला कि ये इन्फेंसी में याद रखना जरूरी है, बिकॉज अगर एडल्ट में ग्रोथ हार्मोन ज्यादा हो गया तो एक्रोमेगाली होता है. दिस इज ऑल्सो अ फॉर्म ऑफ जाइगेंटिज्म जिसमें पार्ट ऑफ बॉडीज लाइक बोन, हैंड, फीट ये बड़े होते हैं, नॉट द होल ह्यूमन बीइंग प्रोपोर्शन में बड़ा होगा. ओके. तो दिस इज द डिफरेंस. इन्फेंसी में से अगर पिट्यूटरी में से ग्रोथ हार्मोन ज्यादा सीक्रेट हो रहा है, फ्रॉम चाइल्डहुड इफ द अमाउंट ऑफ ग्रोथ हार्मोन इज हाई, योर बॉडी विल ग्रो इन अ प्रोपोर्शनेट मैटर. तो ऑल द पार्ट ऑफ योर बॉडी विल ग्रो, excessively maybe, but it will grow. But for acromegaly, some part of your body will stay in the previous ratio, and some which are still growing or which have the potential to grow, they will grow in a huge size. Then there is Cushing syndrome. This is the cause of excess cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that is released from adrenaline gland. Weight gain होता है, thin skin होता है, moon face होता है. Moon face मतलब और कुछ नहीं, the fat deposition in your face increases. तो जैसे वो इंक्रीज होता है आपका फेस गोल होने लगता है. वेट गेन होता है. तो दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ कुशिंग सिंड्रोम इज वेट गेन डिसप्रोपोर्शनल होता है। ओके मतलब some part of your body will gain weight, others will lose weight. This is a syndrome मतलब बहुत सारा symptoms रहता है। any disease which is called as syndrome meaning it has multiple types of symptoms. So let's summarize करते हैं क्या पढ़ा हमने। हमने बस इतना कुछ छोटे छोटे कुछ चीजें सीखे कि पहले व्हाट इज हार्मोन। हॉर्मोन्स आर केमिकल मैसेंजर दैट इज रिलीज फ्रॉम अ ग्लैंड। वो ग्लैंड का क्या स्पेशलिटी है, वो ग्लैंड डायरेक्टली ब्लड वेसल में चीजें रिलीज करता है, इसीलिए हम उसको बोलते हैं एंडोक्रिन। एंड हार्मोन को हम बोलते हैं केमिकल मैसेंजर। तो एक केमिकल दैट इज रिलीज्ड इनटू द ब्लड बाय डायरेक्टली सम डक्टलेस endocrine glands is called hormone. Then major hormone glands: pituitary, thyroid, pancreas, adrenal, gonads. It controls long-term process like growth, metabolism and reproduction. Feedback mechanism ensures balance of hormone level. मतलब कुछ हार्मोन इंक्रीज हुए उसके वजह से कुछ हार्मोन डिक्रीज हुए, एंड कभी कभी खुद हार्मोन खुद जो इंक्रीज होता है दैट इफेक्ट्स द ग्लैंड इटसेल्फ एंड कॉजेज सम हार्म। ओके मैं 1 मिनट का छोटा ब्रेक लेता हूं, देन आई विल कम, आई विल सी द this is a very interesting question by Umesh, that is why hormones causes various effect even though एक साथ pipeline में रहते हैं। That is a very important question. I don't know how much you need it, but I'm just gonna explain it. Suppose for example this is your blood stream and इसके अंदर सपोज 3 तरह के हार्मोन्स है, राइट। नाउ अभी आपको लग सकता है कि तीनों हार्मोन आके यहां पे रिलीज हो गया, हो ही सकता है क्योंकि ब्लड जहां पे जाएगा हार्मोन्स होके जाएंगे। हाउ विल योर बॉडी नो? हमारे बॉडी में एवरी हार्मोन के लिए स्पेसिफिक रिसेप्टर है, मतलब ये ग्रीन हार्मोन्स के लिए कुछ ग्रीन रिसेप्टर्स, मे बी दीज आर नॉट डिस्टिंग्विश्ड बाय कलर इटसेल्फ, ये कलर का वजह से नहीं होता है, बट आई एम कलर कोडिंग इट टू आपका अगर समझ आए तो हुआ। वैसे ही ये ब्लू हार्मोन्स के लिए कहीं पे ब्लू सिग्नल्स होंगे, यहां रेड हार्मोन्स के लिए कहीं पे रेड रिसेप्टर्स होंगे। दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल्ड एज इसके वजह से पूरा बॉडी जो काम करता है, एवरी जगह जहां पे हार्मोन्स काम करते हैं, हार्मोन्स का जो इफेक्ट्स है, जो चेंज होते हैं, इवन जो फीडबैक लूप है, एवरीथिंग इज बिकॉज ऑफ रिसेप्टर स्पेसिफिक बाइंडिंग। मैंने ये सब आपको नहीं बोला क्योंकि 10 के हिसाब से दीज आर नॉट क्वेश्चंस दैट यू विल फेस। ये आपका जब 12 में आप एंडोक्रिनोलॉजी पढ़ेंगे तब आप विस्तारित में, डिटेल्स में नहीं, सॉरी आपका शायद 11 में रहेगा, तो वहां पे आप डिटेल्स में ये रिसेप्टर स्पेसिफिक बाइंडिंग, स्पेसिफिक हार्मोन का कैसा रिसेप्टर होता है, ये सब आप पढ़ेंगे, बट मैंने इसीलिए स्किप कर गया था। बट दिस इज अ वेरी स्मार्ट क्वेश्चन उमेश, you should follow this. I'm gonna take a little bit water break and then come back. ओके सो लेट्स सी हमने क्या क्या सीखा, हमने सीख लिया ये सब। अभी एक और क्वेश्चन उमेश ने किया था कि आई फील योर ट्यूटर फॉर माय बोर्ड विल हेल्प मी सर। ओके श्योर उमेश, इफ यू थिंक माय बायोलॉजी क्लास और आवर बुकमार्क्स कैन हेल्प यू, यू कैन ऑब्वियसली विजिट हमारा जो वेबसाइट है www.bookmarkseducare.com। यहाँ पे आपको हमारा इंफॉर्मेशन से शुरुआत करके जो कोर्सेज का पैकेजिंग है सब कुछ मिल जाएगा, और यू कैन कॉन्टेक्ट दिस नंबर्स। आप यहाँ पे व्हाट्सएप कर सकते हो, आवर टेक्निकल टीम विल कॉन्टेक्ट यू। एंड वो जो आपका क्वेश्चन था जो मैं स्किप कर गया था तब, पीनियल ग्लैंड, राइट। पीनियल ग्लैंड का फंक्शन एक ही है बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। अगेन ये सब क्वेश्चंस अच्छे बहुत है बिकॉज क्यूरियोसिटी इज मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन एज मेनी साइंटिस्ट सेड। क्यूरियस रहना साइंस के लिए अच्छा होता है, लेकिन ये अगेन ये दिस इज नॉट अ 10th सिलेबस क्वेश्चन। ये सीक्रेट करता है मेलाटोनिन, एंड मेलाटोनिन हार्मोन का जो काम है एक ही काम है, सिंगल काम, बट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट इज स्लीप साइकिल रेगुलेशन। मेलाटोनिन डायरेक्टली आपका जो स्लीप्स एंड वेक साइकिल है, इसको हम सर्काडियन रिदम भी बोलते हैं। दिस इज अ वेरी ह्यूज थिंग, यू विल लर्न इन योर हायर क्लासेस। बट आपका जो पीनियल ग्लैंड मेलाटोनिन सीक्रेट करेगा, जो मेलाटोनिन आके आपका स्लीप साइकिल, मतलब आपका जो रात में नींद आता है एंड सुबह रोशनी की वजह से नींद टूट जाता है, देयर इज अ स्पेसिफिक रीजन फॉर दैट। ओके, सो ये कंट्रोल करता है पीनियल ग्लैंड। So thank you students for listening to my lecture. Today I'm gonna end the class here, and for further information you should visit bookmarkseducare.com ka website and contact us through these numbers for any kind of curiosity. Okay, goodbye students.